Hey everybody, just want to welcome you to week 10, module 10 for ME111 System Dynamics. A couple of bookkeeping items for this week. Your quiz 10 has been posted and this will be due by Friday the 6th at 4 p.m. And a reminder that homework number 4 is now going to be due on Monday the 2nd, and that's due by the end of the day by 11 p.m. Again, please reference back to your homework guidelines for details on how to format, grading, submission, all of that information. And also, same reminder again, please note that I have office hours on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. If these times don't work for you, just send me a private message. We'll get together and find a time that'll work for both of us outside of those hours. So as we begin module 10 for this week, what we're going to do is introduce feedback control systems. Now, as we're getting along further in the semester, what we're going to end up doing is utilizing a little bit more practical applications for a lot of the equations, calculations, and problems that you've been doing earlier in the semester, and seeing how those actually relate to real-world problems and applications that we're going to utilize either within research or within the job force. So within this chapter here, a couple things we're going to cover. We're going to take a look at some common control system components. We're going to select appropriate control algorithms of the PID type or one of its variations for given applications for a given steady state and transient performance specifications. So again, we're talking about how these specifications are going to affect how we set up our control systems. Third, we're going to analyze the performance of a control algorithm using transfer functions. We're going to have some more information on transfer functions. I'm also going to be uploading a PDF as well with the basics of a transfer function for these control systems, including the block diagrams and how to compute these. Lastly, we're going to take a look at some MATLAB and Simulink problems as well. How do we model some of this stuff using either MATLAB or Simulink? So as we break this down, there's going to be 3 different sections within this module. First module is going to be 10.1. We're going to talk about open and closed loop systems, some of the terminology that we're going to utilize within the control systems, and how we do some modeling for these. So relating back to our textbook, this is going to be referencing back to 10.1 for the closed loop control, and talking a little bit about open loop as well. 10.2, the terminology that we're going to cover is covered in section 10.2. And third, as we begin our modeling of these controlled systems, that's going to be section 10.3 in your textbook. We move on, we're going to go on to section 10.2. So for module 10.2, we're going to be looking at our control algorithms, controlling system analysis, how do we analyze this here, controlling for first order plants, and we'll talk a little bit of how it changes when we're working with our second order plants. As this relates to our textbook, our PID control algorithms will be covered in section 10.4. 10.5 is going to look at our control system analysis. 10.6 is our first order plants, and 10.7 we talk about our second order plants. Last, as we move to 10.3, we're going to talk a little bit about some additional examples, and throughout the entire module this week, I'm going to be covering some different real-life examples as well, and relating some of this control system and feedback to those. We'll talk about a case study here for motion control with feedback, and then we'll talk about some Simulink applications.